All right, red-white Winota. So Naya Winota is one of the many historic decks that you can find up on my website, and the Naya variation of this notably plays green for Land War Elves and Paradise Druid to accelerate, as well as cards like Lead the Stampede or 4-mana Domri to find your Winotas a little bit more consistently. This build is eschewing those for a little bit better, more consistent mana, as well as some other kind of interesting cards. One card I actually really like in this build that might be worth exploring in the Naya configuration is Life's Bounty here. So this is a 1-mana creature. This is a 1-mana creature that can pay a mana to protect our Winota, which seems pretty sweet. Having some main deck ways to protect your key card from removal seems potentially very, very good. And then what else do we have going on in here? In addition to the Angrath Marauders and Haktos the Unscarred here, this build is also playing 2 copies of Lena, Selfless Champion. 3/3 for 6. When she enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token for each non-token creature you control, and then you can sacrifice her to give creature with power less than hers indestructible till end of turn. So kind of another cute go over the top card. Also worth noting that Lena, again, despite what the depiction looks like, similar to cards like Raise the Alarm, her soldier tokens are not human. So if you hit a Lena off of Winota, Lena's going to give you more creatures to trigger Winota with the following turn. So let's go ahead and pop it into a historic league with this one and see how it goes. For those that don't follow me on Twitter, by the way, my schedule for the next week is going to be slightly different. Going to be slightly different from what it's been the last few weeks. So the Historic Ladder is coming back on Thursday, along with Historic Anthology 3. Sounds good, Fembol. I'll get that bumped up after today's stream when I get that added. So I'm going to tentatively be taking off Tuesday and Wednesday this week, so that way I can be live for long historic streams on Thursday and Friday once we get the new historic anthologies. They're card sleeves, Jin. The flags are card sleeves. I'm also, in addition to my normal Magic content, we're going to be doing a little bit longer streams than I have been doing today, tomorrow, and Monday. I've been ending about 2 to 3 o'clock, so we're going to run a little bit longer than that. And we're going to be doing some Griftlands, which I've seen some people using the command in chat, which is a roguelite deck building game that has some neat twists from the traditional genre like Slay the Spire. We're doing a couple hours of that each day. Is there really no Canadian flag? That's so weird. I feel like they would want to do all the big countries, right? Someone asked me about my opinion on Fauna Shaman in this archetype. I'm really not a fan of Fauna Shaman overall. I feel like it's too slow and clunky. I feel like Fauna Shaman is worse than cards like Lead the Stampede and 4-mana Domri in terms of finding Winota more consistently. Yep, confirm Field of the Dead deck. Could be like Yarok Field with Yorion. Could be, you know, Golos Field deck. Could be a little bit of both with 80 cards. A lot of experience with this deck. I disagree because Lead the Stampede can't attack. Let me rephrase again. I think Fauna Shaman is very bad in your matchups that are hard, which are the removal heavy matchups. I think Fauna Shaman's very unlikely to lead in that, very unlikely to last in things like that. And I think, that was a good draw. And I think that Domri and Lead the Stampede are very good in the matchups that are challenging. Yeah, I'm done with the MCQ, so I can let them in now. Hold on, bud, I'm coming. What's up, dude? vitamins. Why did you bring him down here? Where's mommy? She's upstairs. You can ask her to help you too, I promise. Does Jake, do you need some vitamins? Have some vitamins. I love you. I apologize, chat. The vitamins have a child-safe lid on them for a reason, but they're gummy vitamins, so they do love them. All Magic Online format submissions are $50. I don't really have voids to crack protagonist because I cracked most of them to get the Enchantress during the last summoning event. Man, this doubles up. This doubles up Bonecrusher too. That's pretty good. I don't think that's worthwhile. I think being on Collector makes you much worse in the mirror unless you're boarding out of the Collector in the mirror. And if you're boarding out of Collector, like, why bother? Like, what's the point? So they're dead to Bonecrusher Giant. Won the Super Qualifier this morning in Modern and qualified for first Pro Tour. Hey, congrats, Karate Dumb. That's exciting. Man, you know what card I completely missed? I didn't put any... There weren't any Rampaging Frostodons in the original submission, and maybe we just don't need them. Maybe this matchup is fine enough, but, like, I'm looking at my sideboard, and I actually just, like, don't have any cards to board in here. I think I'm actually just clicking Submit. Some Rampaging Frostodons would be nice, though. Could be that this matchup's okay enough without them, but definitely don't have. Give me Zengrief. Thanks for the third of the year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. The scene's very good. Adanto into Phoenix into Winota. Post-board, this matchup gets much harder, or should get much harder, because the opponent's going to bring in a lot of interaction, ideally, on their side. Opponent on that 4-color life. It's a great pickup. Bottoming anything that's not untapped lands here. Oh, by the way, so the Red Bull tournament is currently going on, and those of us that said about 50% of people wouldn't show up turned out to be quite correct. Yeah, I think Thalia is fine here. I just need a land more than I need Thalia, because I already have 2 drops. So there were 4,600 people registered for the Red Bull event, and 2,600 submitted deck lists. So almost half did not play. Round 1 took 2.5 hours. Yikes. Yeah, and I'm sure some that submitted deck list didn't play. I would bet that's the case as well. Alright, so they should be dead here, right? You can't. You gotta be interactive in this matchup. The opponent you can't just sit there, or you're gonna get punked. The best reset because today's my birthday. Happy birthday, Float Mana. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So again, Angrath Marauders doubling up all of our attack and defense here. Or doubling up all of our damage on attack and defense, just our damage. Doubles up the thing that kills them. The old hits you for 30 on turn 4. If they hadn't had a blocker, it would have been 42. This is a viewer submitted deck list, Astro Smasher. Unknown Stuber, thanks for the 27 months. Welcome back. Squig, thanks for continuing your sub gifty. Welcome back to Oglandia. Good to have you around still. See some people using the Grifflands command in chat. We're going to be doing some Grifflands at the end of today's stream, tomorrow's stream, and Monday's stream as well. It's a roguelite deck building game. It is, it's actually, so the Epic Game Store, currently has a coupon code going that, alright, sorry, before I plug that, what do I bottom here? I think it's this. The Epic Game Store currently has a $10 coupon going, so if you check out Grifflands with my link and decide it's something you'd like to pick up, you can get it for just $5 right now. My Winota. Womp womp. Really? We took my Warboss. Okay. Well, since they took my Warboss, I'm going to stomp their face because I plan to play this out next turn. If you get a gift sub during Griftlands, would that make it a sub grift? Ba-dum-tsh. So, looks like they could be a Grixis control variation. So, rather than playing my Winota out into a possible removal spell here, I'm just going to play Legion Warboss. This is a little cheeky on my part, but I'm actually going to go ahead and skip my land drop here, so they think I might not have a land, to potentially encourage them to tap out. Keeping a land in hand also insulates them from... They haven't played a land yet this turn, so I think I just give them... I don't want them to be able to take my Winota. So do I put this face down and just give them these? Let's do that. I want them to take the 2 there. Giving them land 2-drop face up makes it pretty incentivizing to take the 2. Well, it actually looks like they're playing a variation of the Grixis control deck we played on stream the other day. Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss. It's funny, this deck actually has more Winota hits in it than the Naya build does. The Naya build just has 8. This build has Thalia's. It technically has Winota hits too, but this build on top of Winota also has Lena's in it and Thalia's. Probably dead here at this point if I had to venture a guess. Like I said, this type of matchup is really tough for this archetype. I think this is, these removal heavy matchups are probably worse for this red-white variation than they are for the Naya variation on my website because of the lack of Domri or Lead the Stampede. I think it's actually challenging regardless of which build you have, but I think you have a little bit less tools. So, get you later, Rage. Stay safe out there. I did add, one of the changes I made to your sideboard tantrums is I added 3 copies of Chandra here, because I think it's one of the best tools we have available in our colors for this matchup. In terms of, I think you really want something that allows you to generate some card advantage, and she does a good job of that. There's the best thing we have for doing that. I think a couple of Banishing Lights here are probably fine. They're Grixis, so unless they're boarding in Africa's Libation, they probably can't interact with this card. Need 1 Trim here. I think I'm going to trim Life's Bounty. That doesn't really protect us from sweepers, just spot removal. Hey, Bikook, thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, this is fine. Thalia on 2 seems very good here. I don't even know if you need Ferocidon. So like and it kind of played out that way too, right? Like I said we explicitly didn't have cards for the Field of the Dead matchup, but I also don't know that you need cards for the Field of the Dead matchup. Yeah, Lantern could be okay here. Yeah, I think you're right that I should have boarded in Lantern. I agree with you. I think you dump on non-Yarok Field of the Dead decks, and you probably dump on Yarok players who don't mulligan appropriately. You're playing Goblin Rune Blaster in your side? That's interesting. I don't know if I like that better than Ferocidon. Ferocidon is, like, really good with your backup plan. I think I'm, again, gonna play around Heartless Act here and probably just Haktos post-combat. Hello, oldest son. What's up? You want chips? I think you need to eat some real food first.
No, no chips.
You should have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or some mac and cheese or a Lunchable.
Maybe mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese. Ask mommy and she will make you some mac and cheese. She should be upstairs, okay?
Okay.
My Winota. The next open is already full. We actually filled it about a week ago at this point. And there is a wait list. So if you're in the subscriber Discord server in the open announcements channel towards the bottom, there is a wait list that you can get on. Because I assume we'll have people that drop. Oh, the delay totally is on still. Alright, I turned off the cardboard live delay. Good call. I'm so excited to have data to pour over from... I'm so excited to have data to look at from this Red Bull tournament. So the Red Bull tournament's in round 7. And Jeskai Luka holding strong. Jeskai Luka holding strong at a 62% win rate. Here's an interesting question. If the most played deck in a large tournament like this has a win rate over 60%, does that indicate that deck is too good in your opinion? What do we think? Is 62% too high for the most played deck in the format? And Also, this is good to note, it's probably higher than 62% because that 62% doesn't factor out mirror matches. So I disagree with you that people will have time to adjust because we've known this deck was a deck for a long time now. If this was the first weekend people were playing this archetype, I would say maybe wait. Anything over 56%, that's what we go by in Warhammer. Yeah. Yeah, I think I agree with you. That has nothing to do with the Red Bull tournament, James. The Red Bull tournament's traditional Swiss. Yes, everybody knew it was the deck to beat, and they're still losing to it anyways. We have more than a single... Okay, I'm just timing people out that are stupid. We have more than a single data point. The Jeskai Luka deck has been the deck to beat for over a week now. 2 weeks? I forget how long this format's been. Someone go back and look the first tournament it showed up at. The first Magic Fest where it did well was 2 or 3 weeks ago at this point, right? It was at least 2 weeks ago. Like, again, people implying that I'm trying to use this single data point. I'm not. I'm saying this is an additional data point on top of everything else that we already know and have seen. It's been 3 weeks. Okay. Three weeks sounds right. It feels like a month. So Jeskai Luka had a 68.5% win rate in the LatAm tournament 2 weeks ago that had 120 players in it. Yep. Yep. I think I just do this. It could be right, honestly, to go tapped land into Legion Warboss. An okay pickup, not a super great card against the opponent's archetype specifically. I think I keep the guaranteed 4th land here even without a 4-drop in my hand. Yes, it skews it down, Fight So Good. So if you're not pulling out mirror matches technically pull the win rate down towards 50%. So if you pull out mirror matches from a theoretical standpoint, that win rate is higher than 62%. Because 18% of the matches are dragging it down towards 50 because it only wins the mirror half the time, right? Is that right? I feel like that math works out. Am I making a stupid there with my quick? Right? Mirror matches should drag it back down towards 50 because it's 0 and 100. Yeah, right. Napkin math agrees with me. It drags it towards the mean. That's true. Yeah, so for decks lower than 50%, mirror matches will drag them up, is accurate. Makes good sense. Yeah, I think historic constructed events, as someone who plays them a lot, aren't super representative. Charizard. The number of decks that I've played for double digits worth of matches in these constructed events that I have, you know, a 75+% win rate with is, also, player caliber is a big factor. That's why a high win rate among lots of people in a big tournament is meaningful, because it averages the player caliber a little bit. When there's, you know, this Red Bull event has almost 500 people playing Jeskai Luka. So, when you average that out a little bit, I also think, and this is subjective and speculation, so feel free to ignore it or disagree, but I also think that there is a strong possibility that the Jeskai Luca mirror match sucks enough that people are avoiding playing the deck even though they know it's good because they just have no desire to play the mirror. Just under 20%. So here all the Red Bull data. Again, MTG Melee is thank you for the magic data, MTG Melee. We appreciate you. They're great. That's why we use them for the Hooglandia Opens. 18.7% of the field. 2,600 people submitted deck lists for the Melee tournament. It is a large event. They had 4,600 people signed up. So they had almost 2,000 people no-show / not submit decks. I'm going to gamble and keep this because it's got Redcap and Lava Coil it can cast. If it draws a white source, it's very good. What's less fun to play against, Jeskai Luca or Nexus? Definitely Jeskai Luca. Not close. I also think Jeskai Luca is way more powerful than Nexus of Fate ever was, and that factors into my enjoyment of it. Like Nexus was always much worse than it actually felt. Just got Luca translated into Historic. Yeah, there was someone in chat that said they've been doing really well in events with Jeskai Luca. I think Jeskai Luca is a lot less offensive in this format overall because there's better aggro decks to attack it. You have a creator tag. Just if you're gonna purchase it, just use buy it originally using my link. So click into the Epic Game Store using my Jeff Grifflands link if you want to support my content while picking it up. Epic Game Store is also running a promo through June 11th. You can get a $10 discount code for anything that costs $15 or more. So you can pick up Grifflands for for $5 because it's normally $15. I also think it's tough to... I think going off of just the feel on a ladder tends to not be good enough, and I think the historic events are even worse than just going off the ladder, in large part because the deck quality in the constructed events varies so much. That's actually an interesting thought, too. There's a chance that the Red Bull skewed more towards cheaper decks because it pays out real prize money and had a free entry fee. I think that's a good observation. Yeah, I think so. I think, like, if there was a standard... And actually, there's going to be a standard Pro Tour, right? If Magic Twitter is to be believed, they're going to be making an announcement this week that the next Pro Tour is going to be held digitally because of COVID, and it's going to be held on Arena and be standard. So someone on Magic Twitter had posted that this week. Because Pro Tours aren't happening anywhere in the United States anytime soon. Well, I guess maybe they could happen in a southern state at some point. They're not happening in any responsible states. And I feel like Wizards of the Coast's response to things surrounding COVID has actually been very, very good. And they've been very conservative when it comes to player safety. So I feel like I would be surprised if, even if somewhere like Texas or Florida would let them have a Pro Tour, I don't think Wizards of the Coast would do that. I think based on the things they've done in response to the pandemic so far, I think would just like to praise them. Their response has been very good. And I feel like having a PT currently would be a departure from their current good, responsible response they've had so far. I have no idea, Marty. And I mean, in Wizards of the Coast defense, it isn't anywhere near as simple as just snap your fingers and suddenly you have a spectator mode. Adding a spectator mode is not trivial. 10 of the top 20 players in the Red Bull tournament are on Jeskai Luka. So 20% of the decks submitted are currently 50% of the top 20 players. 20% of the decks submitted are currently 50% of the top players. Whew! Whew! If I'm gonna be honest, it gives me this little glimmer of hope because I really like playing good standard formats. And like, I hope this deck is busted because if they ban the stupid deck, I could play standard again. Like, variety's the spice of life. I would like to have a little bit of standard in with my historic. But if the format is just armpits, I'm not gonna play it. The last time the Arena team posted a roadmap, they did not have spectator or tournament modes on their roadmap. If I recall correctly, I don't even think they had them on their "these are things we're going to do eventually" roadmap. Like, at one point, the State of the Game talked about, like, Cube Draft and stuff like that, which happened in Pioneer Masters and Amonkhet Masters, and other things that haven't happened yet. So, not quite enough to escape Phoenix of the Ash here. Hey, Ken. Hope you're staying safe out there. I think the Jeskai cycling deck is much easier to attack. I also think that while getting Zenith Flared doesn't feel good, it's a lot less offensive than... getting Agent of Treachery. O2, the Red Bull GP. I'm impressed you played the second match. I'd have quit after the first one. No joke. If we lost round 1 of the Mythic Invitational qualifier, I was going to drop. I was going to concede the second one and move on. I was super ready to be dead during the second match. Hey, thanks for the sub gifting. During the second game of the first match, I was just like, nope, we're done. Ready to tap out. Lantern's a good one. Yeah, Lantern's a great card to sideboard against the cycling deck. I forgot about that one. I know we're playing it in here, but it wasn't something I was thinking about in the context of, like, what that deck does. They're going to put all the cards in, Tuber. So again, they're initially not going to have everything, but expecting them to put every card in one dump isn't reasonable. I would much rather they program a chunk of cards and then give us what they have done right away, rather than making us wait. Like, making us wait till everything is done is very silly. I actually think their approach to getting Pioneer onto Arena is very, very good. Yeah, that's true too. I think that actually can't be understated. Jeskai Luka has been the known best deck for 2 to 3 weeks now, and people aren't better against it post-sideboard. Owl Knight, thanks for the tier 2 resub. I appreciate the 19 months. Welcome back. Hope you're staying safe out there. PK Jeff, thanks for the 1.5 years. That's huge. Like, the fact that the known best deck, people aren't getting better against it post-board is unreal. It's unreal. Like, Like, if you need a sign that is too good, like, that is a huge sign. I hadn't thought about it from that perspective. It's something that, like, I looked at. I think we're just YOLOing this, right? Just trying to kill him. We get 3 triggers here. It's a good start. Do I get Haktos or do I get Thalia? Haktos is pretty likely to kill them, right? It's a 3. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You love to see it, chat. You love to see it. Again, decks like what we're playing keep decks like Jeskai Luka from overwhelming this format like they overwhelm Standard, in my opinion. Because they can't just ignore us, right? They can't just, like, take our things on turn 5. And, like, we have things like Adanto Vanguard to play through their sweepers. It's because no one gave them a good sideboard to net deck yet. Something like that. Alright. Soul Guide Lantern in. Lava Coil seems fine. Is this a Banishing Light matchup? I feel like the answer to that is no. Lena's not super useful, though. Maybe I trim Lena's and put 1 Banishing Light in. Maybe I split the difference on Coil and Banishing Light. Because this Banishing Light exiles Kroxa and this doesn't. So I think splitting these is probably good. You're playing 6 sweepers. Alright, are you a Yorion deck, though? Because 6 sweepers in a Yorion deck isn't that many. And we have things like Adanto Vanguard. There should be large weekly events at MTG Arena, just like we have for every format every week on MTGO. The fact that this hasn't been prioritized is one of Arena's greatest failures to date, in my opinion. Send tweet. Alright, sorry, I'm mulliganing here, right? Sorry, Seth Manfield had a good tweet, and I wanted to retweet it with some commentary. If you'd like to signal boost that one, feel free. If you want to let Wizards know that there should be more things like that. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this could be a keep on the draw with a Scribe. Both Thalia and Vanguard are good here. I don't think I'd keep it on the play, but we've got what? We get 3 shots on the draw. We get draw step, scry, draw step. As if anyone at WotC can see your tweets. Aaron Forsyth actually follows me on Twitter. A number of people at Wizards of the Coast follow me. That's just good business on their part. Whether or not they like me, they should know the things I'm shouting into the void. Because they know there's a lot of people listening to the things that I shout. What channel is casting the Red Bull thing? I think it's just twitch.tv/Red Bull. Or maybe Red Bull Gaming. If you pull up the General Magic section, you can find them. I also saw that they're pulling feature matches by using Discord screen share, so I'm happy we were able to set that trend. That's exciting. Exciting to see other people doing that. Does anybody know for their feature matches, do they have both players' hands up for their feature matches or no? They do not. It's unfortunate. So this doesn't do anything useful right now regardless. I guess we just Thalia and then attack for 3. I did, Dows. I picked up the American flag. On the off chance that America gets its crap together, I will use the American flag on my sleeves on occasion. But until November happens, I don't intend to use that sleeve. I picked it up as a just in case, maybe we'll use this later. If we don't find a Winota in the next turn or two here, we're probably dead. There's no Canada, there's just North America. Baby got Baxter. Thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. I say what I'm about to say, knowing full well that Hoaglandia would never get them. But again, one of the many pieces of low-hanging fruit that Wizards of the Coast has failed to monetize on is the fact that, Baby Got Baxter, welcome, and Sir Calbino, thanks for sticking on. The fact that Wizards of the Coast has not monetized content creators having their own approved sleeve design is another one of those things that is just like, this should be so easy for them to do. The fact that there's not like an LSV, like every MPL member should have their own sleeve. LSV should have them, Gabby should have them, Newmont should have them, Caleb should have them. Like, I don't expect that we would get them here based on my relationship with Wizards. But the fact that every other Croakies, like every other big Magic content producer that they're willing to work with should have their own sleeve in the game. Chilerian Community College? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, have a sleeve for every Hall of Famer. A loading ready run sleeve. Yes, adding sleeves to the game should be fairly trivial. Channel Fireball, Star City, correct. Yeah, like all of these places should have something to monetize in the game. And if they wanted to go a step further, they don't even have to do this, but they could go a step further, and if they wanted to actually support their content creators, they could give them a revenue split with their sleeve. But they probably wouldn't even have to do that. They'd just be like, hey, do you want to put your logo in the game and just do the thing? And I bet a lot of them would do that without a rev split. But yeah, I bet they could just take it in exposure and make money. Alright, we're deterministically done at this point, right? Thalia actually doesn't do anything here because the Mox Opals pay for itself. So they can deterministically deck themselves with Mox Opal paying for themselves, and then they have 2 blue here at the end to play Oracle. Sexual predators are never an appropriate butt of a joke on my channel. You can take a 10-minute break. Jokes about them. Thanks. Don't give people like that exposure. Yeah, Cian's real good. Just needs a land and a Winota. Even if we don't have land Winota with Vanguard into Legion Warboss, it's pretty hard. Is Naya or Boros better for this deck? I think I prefer the Naya. I think Land War Elves is pretty busted. Land War Elves is pretty busted. I also think with Ancient Ziggurat coming, the downside to being Naya is going to get mitigated. So I cracked most of my Void Shards in Raid Silly Cheese during the Champion Chase event, so I don't have many left. I also don't open that many shards in general. It's not one of the things I purchase in that game usually when I spend money. Tapped land on 1 is good. If they have a slow start, our fair draw could easily run them down. Yep, sweet. Lava Coil is excellent here, because it means if they play one of their many 1/3s next turn, we get to kill it and attack them. I don't know that I agree with your consistency argument once we have Ancient Ziggurat Tantrum Tryhard. I think in the current state you could make that argument, but I think once Ancient Ziggurat's a consideration, it's pretty much a non-factor. Whoo, that's a good one. Alright, so this game's over. I guess they could have Cry. Their deck could technically play Cry, but I'd be surprised. Marty, you're going to be hearing from my lawyers for your last tweet, just so you know. They're going to compare timestamps of my stream video here and when your tweet went live. He just tweeted what we were talking about with content creators and Channel Fireball and places having a sleeve in the game. Is Croaky still playing in the Red Bull tournament? Is he double queuing, or did he die in that already? He is, yeah. Yeah, double queuing though's gotta be rough. No, he dropped. Yeah, see, I'd be very surprised if he was Lucaing in both. Like, Mardu Knights is like... Mardu Knights is a double Q deck. Jeskai Luca is not a double Q deck, chat. Not even a little. Never once. Yeah, someone said the first round took 2.5 hours. From a Self-Pengu Power, let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Thanks for keeping me around, I appreciate it. From a selfish perspective, MTG Melee should have all their kinks thoroughly worked out for our 256-player tournament next weekend. Speaking of, one week from today, the third Hoaglandia Open will be taking place. It will be the historic format featuring Historic Anthology 3. Got a Reckless Rage here. Shameless plug, yeah. Is it ironic or sad that the Hoaglandia Open will pay out prizes to more players than the Red Bull tournament does? I believe the Hoaglandia tournament will end up having prizes to like 16 to 20-ish people, whereas the Red Bull tournament has prizes for 8. They might have another Reckless Rage here. These Reckless Rage decks are very good against the Winota decks. My Winota. Do 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 do. You know, honestly, just like seeing the coverage of the Magic Fest and the Red Bull tournament and what we're doing here with our Hoaglandia Opens, if Wizards of the Coast actually makes it a priority and gets a spectator mode done, Magic Arena could have a really good future of community-run and covered opens if we just had a spectator mode. If we just had the ability to do real, consistent coverage, like it would just be huge. Sure, Guides and Shades, Magic's got a ton of variance in it, so even people playing bad decks like Mono Green Stompy will occasionally still win matches. So they can't give lifelink now. Scred won a Grand Prix. Blood Moon won a Grand Prix. It happened to be accompanied by Scred. All right, well, what are we doing here? Is it just more removal? Probably Banishing Light for sure, because it deals with their Vanguards. Am I the aggro deck or the control deck in this matchup? I feel like I'm probably the more controlling deck. Yes, yeah, I don't know. Whatever you want to be, that's probably actually an okay answer. Does Thalia meaningfully slow them down? Probably. Like, do I want Lava Coils? Maybe I just want Banishing Lights. I'm gonna trim these two Lenas. And click submit, I think. Different Luris deck, Kent. We're playing against a tempo deck at the moment. Lantern is good here. I don't think so. I think if the matchup's coming down to Luris recurring stuff, we're probably losing regardless. I think we want the game to be over before we get to that point. I'm going to keep this and hope to draw a 2 or a 3 drop on by turn 2 or 3. Yeah, that's a good thought. What the draws look like determine who's taking what role. That doesn't seem like an unreasonable take. This is working out real well for us. How's Lena felt? Eh. Feels like they want to redcap us here, or have some kind of removal, so I'm going to decline playing Winota out this turn, and go land Haktos. I was talking to the owner of my LGS, and he said a good chunk of the paper players from the store are abandoning paper for digital, even once the store runs events post-COVID. Well, I mean, realistically, Psycho Smurf, I know I personally wouldn't feel comfortable playing in a paper Magic tournament until there's a vaccine readily available. Like, playing in a paper Magic tournament is the furthest thing in the world from something that's essential or something that needs to happen in my life. And the climate's gonna need to look drastically different before I'm willing to sit there and handle a pile of cards that I have to hand to another person to shuffle every round. Your store isn't planning to run in-person Magic events before a vaccine. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Planes are petri dishes. Magic tournaments are like chicken pox parties. That is a gross but probably apt comparison. Easy mulligan here, 4 lands and no double red. Sounds good. We even get to bottom the Marauders here. Opponent playing Obosh. Could be a Brew, could be Field, could be an aggressive deck. Lot of range on that one. See some people in chat using the Griftlands command. This is our last match with this deck. And then we're going to play some 4-color Vanafear, also in Historic. Then we're going to close up today, tomorrow, and Monday's stream with some Griftlands. It's a roguelite deck building game. If you check them out using my link, there's actually a sale going on in the Epic Game Stores right now, so you can get it for just $5. If you check out the gameplay with us and think it's something you would enjoy. The Epic Game Store in general is currently running a get $10 off a purchase of $15 or more. I think I lead on Thalia here as opposed to Vanguard because they're probably a growth spiral deck. They get a kickback. Yeah, people purchase through my link. That's a good way to support my content. Is a sponsored segment with them. Something that Kibler and Nox and Day 9 all played it. It looked interesting. I played it a little bit off stream. It seems good. Here's hoping, DTC. I'm hoping the current administration isn't the current administration come fall, and maybe the people Joe Biden decides to surround himself with can get things done. Silly Shadow, thanks for the half a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Opponent might have disconnected here, unfortunately. It's a little sad. Man, a lot of connection issues today with just Arena or in general. Oh, you're the opponent. You're the opponent. I got you. Usernames are tough. Usernames are tough. I thought that was just like someone else letting me know that Arena's been having connection issues for them. I was like, all right, sure. I appreciate you, Eltergo, if you come back and watch this later on. I think I'm just playing Vanguard rather than pumping this. I really hope Biden picks a reasonable VP. I really hope Biden picks a reasonable VP. Is Warren going to lose her Senate seat? If Warren's not going to lose her Senate seat, I'd prefer not Warren. Unless she's losing her Senate seat regardless, I feel like we need every blue seat in the Senate. She's super safe. Yeah, I'd prefer not Warren then. There's a lot more than just the presidency that matters. A lot more. Tammy Duckworth. That's is that an Illinois person? I feel like I've heard that name before, but I can't place it offhand. She cannot Ewok. Are they just dead to Haktos? Well, I rolled 2 like a professional, so probably. Listen, for those of you that want to play Haktos at home, take notes. Take notes. This is a highly skillful card. What is her position in Illinois? Is she a senator? I'm gonna be honest. I should be more informed on all of my elected officials. Usually I just do research on the ballot the month beforehand. So if it's not someone that's recently mattered. Junior senator. Michelle Obama. I can't decide if that would be a good thing or a bad thing. That can't be. Well, Biden committed to having a female VP. He eliminated half the population. Ooh, a mythic I didn't already have. A mythic I didn't already have. I feel like I have to time you out on principle, Bonnie. I don't feel like that's impossible, but I also feel like I need to just I need to take that energy out of the room. I need to take the energy that it could possibly be a Clinton out of the room. Because please, for the love of God, just don't. All right, anywho, this deck. Things I liked and things I didn't like. Hope your connection issues get sorted. Eltergo. Sorry about that. Life's Bounty was a card that was super reasonable in the set that we played. Thalia was fine. Lena was fine. I don't know that I have logged enough games to have any strong preference on these. That being said, I feel like the biggest draw to playing a 2-color build over the Naya build is consistency in the mana. And I really think that once we have Ancient Ziggurat in here, it's gonna be a tough sell to talk me out of playing this. I really think that once we get to cut these 3 Temple of Triumphs and a Sun Petal Grove for 4 Ancient Ziggurat, I'm just super ready to play this build with Ancient Ziggurat in it. I've talked about this before. I think Ancient Ziggurat's probably gonna be the most impactful card from the new set, and I'm looking forward to get it in a variety of different things. All right. Don't go anywhere. We've got more magic coming up. I'm going to hit a quick ad roll while I get things set up and flipped over. Need to restart my client too. When we get back, we are going to play some 4-color Vanafear in Historic. Let's pull that one up and tease it really quick here. So we've got 4-color Yori and Vanafear here. That's a mess of 81 cards. We'll be back in just a few minutes with this. Thanks for checking out today, folks. Don't go anywhere.